We need our own Harry Potter franchise, but because Harry Potter has already been taken, we'll take Artemis Fowl, and we're not gonna give a fuck about the source material. We're just gonna do it whatever the fuck we want with it, and then it'll make even more money than Harry Potter, ha ha ha! This is what Disney literally did to the Artemis Fowl books when making their movie adaptation. If you'll excuse me for one moment. I just feel like I am still bleeding physically right now from the horror that I just saw. Well, thank fuck that this nightmare wasn't released on the big screen, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Artemis Fowl. Oh, sorry, Artemis Fail. Directed. Oh, sorry, directed is too much of a compliment. By Kenneth Branagh. That's right, Gilderoy Lockhart from Harry Potter and director of Fowl and Murder on the Orient Express. Solid movies from his past filmography, but it's just happened. So Artemis Fail, or Artemis Fowl, whatever you call it, tells the story that there is none. It's based on the Artemis Fowl books, which I had never read, but I did some research on. But after all my extensive research, this shit bears zero resemblance to the books. It tells the story of Artemis Fowl, this boy genius for reasons unexplained, about him teaming up with a bunch of fairies, his butler, and to rescue his kidnapped father from this villain who we never find out who the fuck is or what their motivations are. Short answer, I didn't like it. This is the biggest piece of fucking crap I have seen in 2020. And it's one of the worst live-action Disney movies to ever exist, period. And it's, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst thing Disney have released on Disney+. You know what, Artemis Fowl is one of the rare things that I wouldn't recommend to you on Disney Plus ever. If you want to watch something awesome on there, watch Disney Nature's Elephant, the beyond breathtaking nature documentary wonderfully narrated by Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex herself. But Artemis Fail, for fans of the books, it's as if you've been shot in the balls watching this pile of shite. Seriously, I am not villainizing Kenneth Branagh here, because I'm sure Kenneth Branagh wanted to put in the extra time and effort into this movie. He wanted to do the books justice, but Disney didn't give him nearly the time that he needed to work to make this film work, and as a result, it feels like a messy, rushed clusterfuck of fucking shit. I mean, this movie is extremely different from the books. It's as if Disney didn't even read the books, so you can't, to the point where you can't even recognize this as a Artemis Fowl story. When I researched the books before I dared to watch this torturous dog shit straight from Mickey Mouse's toilets, I found out that in the books, Artemis is the antagonist temporarily, and he needs to grow to be the protagonist and a reformed character. Now, that's a compelling journey for Artemis to go on, and throughout a series of books, and also Holly, the fairy character. She in the books is the only female fairy officer on the force, as being a cop is not something the female fairies would traditionally do. So she's a true inspiration for her kind in the book. So she needs to prove that female fairies can also be cops. And she initially hates humans, and her mother is her role model. So she's also not a perfect character in the books, and like Artemis, she needs to change and realise not all humans are bad, and some can be trusted. But this shitty adaptation will piss the fuck off out of fans of the book beyond belief. It removed all that was interesting and compelling in the source material in favour of just of making up new shit. So in this movie version, calling this a movie is far too kind. Artemis is just good from the get-go. He doesn't need to learn anything. It's never fucking explained once why he's the smartest kid on the planet. Turns out his mother has been entirely cut out of the movie version, even though in the books his mother was very much alive. She just went insane after the disappearance of his father. And Artemis's kid actor, I don't even know his name, but holy fuck, he's bad. He is unspeakably shit. He gives the worst, most emotionless acting I have ever seen from a child actor in all my 25 years of watching movies. I mean, people give Jake Lloyd from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, so much shit, but come on. At least Jake Lloyd is Jake Gyllenhaal in comparison to this kid right here. I mean, unless this kid takes extreme acting classes, don't ever put him in movies again. And as for Holly, I mean, maybe of all of the cast, her performance is the most tolerable, but they destroys what's made you root for her as a character in the movie version. There are other female fairies on the cop team, and they've even gender swapped her boss as her boss is now played by Judi Dench in the movie. Judi Dench, what are you doing here? First cats, now this? She has never starred in a good movie since Skyfall, and so because Holly is not the only female cop on the force at the time, and she doesn't hate humans, and they just like Artemis's mother, they never mention her mother either, and her father is her role model. That was never a thing in the books. What the fuck, Disney? And before you tell me, but Harry, it's an adaptation of the book, it's not supposed to be an exact replica of the book, I guess it. But a movie adaptation of a book still needs to follow, for the most part, the general narrative. That you only make tiny changes to help it be a better movie. But Artemis fucking Fowl made all the wrong changes, and changes that make the story shit. And even the world building that this fantasy universe takes place in is beyond shit. So why do the fairies live in a futuristic city underwater? And it's such a plain and fucking boring world to be stuck in. And what is it with Colin Farrell starring in bad movies since his role as Percival Graves in Fantastic Beasts? First the shitty Dumbo remake last year, and now Artemis Fowl. I mean, Artemis and his father share like a 2-minute scene of bonding before they are parted for the rest of the movie. So I never gave a flying fuck about when him and his father would reunite. I never gave a flying fuck about any of the plot elements, because the pacing is exhilaratingly rushed. I mean, it's just an hour and 30 minutes. And it's trying to do everything at once in all that time. You don't have any time to breathe. You feel like you've just got all the air sucked out of you watching this. All of the character designs are just Disney ripping off better movies. Like Artemis's butler, his design is just a rip-off of the Men in Black. And there's one scene towards the finale where he's nearly killed off, and you're thinking, oh, this could be a potentially emotional death scene, and a ballsy move to show there are stakes to this universe and we can lose characters. But no, Disney do what I thought they would never do. They cop the fuck out and just resurrect him a second later. Disney, you have never played it this safe for your kids in the past. Remember back when you weren't afraid to kill off characters permanently in your classics? I mean, you robbed this movie of any form of tension, and the fight scene in Artemis's house with the troll is one of the most messily edited and sloppiest fight scenes I have ever seen in a fantasy movie. That's garbage troll looked even faker than the bathroom troll from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and that movie was 19 years ago. And Josh Gad as this dwarf who just looks like a retarded Hagrid from Harry Potter. Get used to him, folks. He is our fucking narrator, and he just force feeds us the most excruciating exposition. I mean, it's so much exposition thrown in your face so your brain can't keep the fuck up with it. This movie, it's a beyond breaks the show don't tell rule of filmmaking. It's just Josh Gad telling you that Arthur is the chosen one. He's going to save us. He is the best, without any evidence, without ever showing us why we should root for Arthur. Disney, I would never thought I'd say this to you, but show, don't tell. And the butler's niece, her only purpose in this movie is to be a personal waiter and bring food and drink and other refreshments to our characters. Patrick Doyle's soundtrack that he composed for Artemis Fowl is his shittiest soundtrack period. There's no flavour or personality to it. It's nothing. And Patrick Doyle has proven to be an exceptional composer with scores like The Goblet of Fire and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. You can see he couldn't think of anything. He couldn't give a shit with the score for Artemis Fowl. So yeah, Disney, just don't greenlight a sequel. Just cancel that shit while you have the chance. There's no fucking way that the fans are going to want to see a sequel to this. You might as well just reboot Artemis Fowl with and give a director the time they need to make it a worthy adaptation. So overall, Artemis Fowl is fucking awful. It's fucking sucks even harder than Doolittle. I thought Doolittle was bad, but this has now dethroned Doolittle as the worst movie of 2020. I give Artemis Fowl 0 stars out of 5. Fuck this movie. Now I'm going to get drunker, as that's the most therapeutic way of getting over Artemis Fowl. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Artemis Fowl? I'm sure everybody will have this as the #1 worst piece of shit of 2020. Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.